Okay, this is lesson 52, using unit multipliers to convert measures and converting mixed unit to single unit measures. First thing we need to know is a unit multiplier. A unit multiplier is just a ratio of equivalent measures. Okay, so that would be like 1 foot is equivalent to 12 inches. Okay, or 1 yard is equivalent to 3 feet. Okay, or something like that. Or we could go to the metric system and say that 1 meter is equivalent to 100 centimeters. Okay, these three are all unit multipliers. Okay, again, a ratio of equivalent measures, because 1 foot is equivalent to 12 inches, 1 yard is equivalent to 3 feet, and 1 meter is equivalent to 100 centimeters. Okay, so let's go ahead and use these in some problems. Objective 1 up here is to use a unit multiplier to convert measures. Okay, so we're going to convert between one measure and another using a unit multiplier. So example 1 says the sapling apple tree is 64 inches tall. Convert 64 inches to feet by multiplying 64 inches by 1 foot over 12 inches. This is our unit multiplier because 1 foot is equivalent to 12 inches. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the height of the sapling tree, which is 64 inches, and we're going to multiply that by 1 foot over 12 inches. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and, because we're dealing with fractions here, we've got a fraction over here, we're going to go ahead and put this over 1. Okay, and the reason why we want inches on top over here and inches on bottom over here is because then they cancel each other out. Okay, when one's on top and one's on bottom, they cancel. So now I'm just going to multiply the top numbers here, 64 times 1, and that's 64 feet over, then 1 times 12 is 12. Now I just need to divide 64 by 12. So we'll go ahead and do that. 12 goes into 64 5 times, and that's 60. Gives us a remainder of 4. So we've got 5 and 4/12 feet. Okay, and we can't leave it like that. We need to reduce it, so that's 5 and 1/3 feet. Okay, so 64 inches is the same as 5 and 1/3 feet. Okay, let's go on to another example. Example 2 says a certain double feature at a theater is 270 minutes long. Use a multiplier to convert 270 minutes to hours. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is put our 270 minutes that they give us over 1, and we're going to multiply that by a unit multiplier. Well, we're going from minutes to hours. Okay, well, I know that 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. So that's my unit multiplier, 1 hour over 60 minutes. Again, notice our minutes are 1 on top and 1 on bottom, so we can cancel those out. And on top, 270 times 1 hour is 270 hours. Over, on the bottom, 1 times 60 is 60. Now we just need to reduce this, so we're going to simplify and do 270 divided by 60. Well, these zeros can cancel each other out, so it's just like doing 27 divided by 6. And 6 goes into 27 4 times. 6 times 4 is 24. And we get a remainder of 3. So that is 4 and 3/6 hours, which is the same as 4.5 hours. Alright, and we got a couple more examples, so let's keep moving on. Okay, example 3 says Samantha drove 100 miles in an hour and 45 minutes. How many hours did it take for Samantha to drive 100 miles? Okay, well, we know that an hour and 45 minutes, that 1 hour and 45 minutes. Okay, a couple different ways we can do this. We can say that 1 hour is 60 minutes and 45 minutes. So that time that it took her to drive is 105 minutes. Put that over 1, and we're going to multiply that by a unit multiplier. Well, we know that hours and minutes go together. Again, 1 hour is 60 minutes. Okay, and again our minutes cancel, so we multiply, we get 105 with the label hours over 1 times 60 is 60, and now we need to divide 105 by 60, and 60 goes in there once, and leaves us with 45 when we subtract, so we get 1 hour and 45 over 60, okay, for our number there. Then we need to reduce that. Well, 45 over 60 is the same as 3/4, so it's 1 3/4 hours. Okay. Another way we could have done that is to just at the start say that 1 hour 45 minutes is equivalent to 1 hour and 45 over 60, okay, because there's 60 minutes in an hour, and then reduce it. Okay, so 2 different ways to solve that problem. And we got 2 more examples, so let's move on. This one says Noel ran 1 mile in 7 minutes and 30 seconds. Find Noel's time in minutes. Okay, express the result as a mixed number and as a decimal number. Well, we know that 7 minutes and 30 seconds, okay, we know that that's the same as 7 and 30 over 60, because there are 60 seconds in a minute, so 30 out of that 60 would be equivalent to how much we have over 7 minutes. And then we can just reduce that. That reduces to 7.5 minutes. That's the result as a mixed number, and when they also want it as a decimal number, that is the same as 7.5 minutes. Okay, so 2 answers there, 7.5 or 7.5 minutes for 7 minutes and 30 seconds. And let's move to our last example. Example 5 says, to measure a room for carpeting, Juan converts the length and width of the room from feet and inches to yards. Okay, a room that is 13 feet 6 inches long is about how many yards long? Well, 13 feet 6 inches is the same as 13.5 feet. Okay, we put that over 1. And we're going to multiply that by 1 yard over 3 feet, because we know there are 3 feet in 1 yard. Alright, now we can cancel our labels of feet, and we're going to get 13.5 yards over 1 times 3 is 3. Okay, so I need to take 13.5 and divide it by 3. Whoops, sorry, not divided by 1/3, divided by 3. Okay, well I know that when I'm dealing with fractions, that's the same as, or dividing is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. So I could really say this is 3 over 1 and change this to 13.5 times 1 over 3, multiply by the reciprocal. And then 13.5 I would change to a fraction, that would be 27 over 2. And I'll be multiplying that by 1/3. Well, 27 and 3 cancel. That's 9, and that's a 1. So we get 9 over 2 yards, which is the same as 4.5 yards. Okay? If you need any help, go ahead and ask. Otherwise, happy homeworking. Enjoy.